The rainy season is here. Tracking storms this week, multiple storms lined up in the Pacific, tracking them all as we head into this first full week of November. I'm ABC 10 Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods in the capital city of Sacramento. Now, the Climate Prediction Center saying from November 11th through the 15th is likely going to be a wetter scenario setting up across much of the state, especially for Southern California. That is going to be a big shift in what has so far been a pretty dry start to November and certainly the fall season. We'll be tracking all of that. Now, for our Sunday, it's been on and off, hit and miss showers, just kind of a dreary end to the weekend. The first weekend of November, mostly rain in the Tahoe Basin. This is the warmer part of the storm. There's a lot more to come, though. And so as far as total accumulated precipitation, not much so far on the rain bucket. Again, there's a lot more to come with this storm system. Only about 1/10 of an inch of rain or so through much of the valley, even for the Tahoe Basin. Closer to about 1/4 of an inch, though, a little bit closer to the coast where we've seen just a little bit more in the active weather. But we've got multiple weather impacts that we're going to be tracking to kick off the new work and school week. And that means another slippery travel for the morning commute, visibility poor at times, and for the mountains, possible chain controls. Now, this is going to be something that people have to get used to once again after going through the dry summer months and a rather slow start to the fall season and the rainy season at that. Here's the colder air is trying to work its way in. It's still holding just off the coast here. Once that interacts with the storm system, we'll start to see not only our snow level fall, but also the opportunity for some thunderstorms for tomorrow's forecast. Winter weather advisory going into effect overnight tonight and will continue through our Tuesday, mostly confined to that 80-50 corridor, but also south of Highway 50 all the way along 395 into Yosemite, where we're expecting a lot of the snowfall to continue to fall even into our Tuesday forecast. So this will be a multiple day situation here for parts of the Sierra. Again, there is that chance of thunderstorms for tomorrow, mainly north of I-80, but in that 80-50 corridor through the foothills, they could get quite active for tomorrow afternoon. North of I-80 for places like Grass Valley, Nevada City, could see some pretty heavy downpours and some isolated storms that produce some small hail as well. We'll be tracking all of those weather conditions. Here's a look at the morning commute. Spotty showers. Again, we'll see on and off showers overnight tonight. Some of that lingering and just sticking on the roadways for the morning commute in the foothills and the Sierra. Foothills, it'll be rain. Sierra, largely rain, but again, starting to see some of that colder air work in. Obviously, with the colder overnight lows, we'll see those snow levels kind of coming down overnight and then fluctuate throughout the day. By 4 p.m., areas of showers continue for the valley, spotty showers for the foothills, and then for the Sierra, we're starting to see more widespread snow develop, especially south of Highway 50, right along 395 and towards Yosemite, so Mono, and also areas of the counties that are going to be south of the Tahoe Basin. That's where we'll see most of that snow falling. Starting to taper off somewhat on Tuesday. In fact, the valley forecast I'm calling for basically a dry one on Tuesday, but the snow showers lingering for the Sierra. Heading back to work and school tomorrow is going to feel a little bit different. We experienced some of that today with our time change of falling back, getting the extra hour of sleep. Now, it's kind of mixed reviews on whether we like that earlier sunset and earlier sunrise, but tomorrow we'll have similar conditions to today with that sunrise at about 6:30 in the morning, that sunset roughly at about 5 p.m. We really won't be affected too much with the sun glare because we're going to have the cloud cover. That's usually one of the things that catches people off guard, is where the sunrise and sunset is hitting them on the morning and evening commute. Taking a look at our statewide precipitation, since we are kind of in the beginning of that rainy season, and of course we reset our water year on October 1st. It's been a fairly slow start. That should say actually October 1st, 2023. Sorry about that. Statewide precipitation, you can see, has been pretty dry here. And we're a little bit below average, roughly about 1/2 inch to an inch behind where we would normally be. Bigger deficits growing for South Lake Tahoe at about 1.5 inches and almost 2 inches behind there for Redding. It is beautiful, though. If you happen to be up through parts of the northern Sacramento River, the upper Sacramento River, really seeing some pretty color. Philip Reedy taking some fall shots out there. Our peak color has already happened for parts of the upper Sierra, that being closer to about Bishops and also Yosemite. pretty much past peak. But for the Tahoe Basin, we're just at peak right now. And then the valley finally starting to see some of that color pop up. We're nearing peak. Within about the next week or so, we should be at peak color, and then all the leaves start to fall. We haven't seen too much of that in the valley, and kind of good news when we start to see some of these rain events. We don't want the leaves to be falling, clogging all the gutters and the storm drains. Most of those leaves still holding on to the trees, but there's certainly some out there. We'll pick up another about 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch of rain by the time we get through tomorrow and into early Tuesday. The foothills and the Sierra will continue to see some of that accumulation pile up through our late Tuesday through early Wednesday forecast. In total, about 1 inch to 5 inches of snow falling for this year. Again, most of that is going to be just south of Highway 50. For tomorrow, most of the rain falls during the early part of the day. Some back edge showers occurring for the Sierra into our Tuesday forecast. But beyond that, it's all about this ridge of high pressure that starts to build in towards the middle of the week. Now, as opposed to last week where we saw unseasonably warm conditions, we're not necessarily going to see that with this ridge of high pressure. It's held just off the coast there and won't directly be impacting us with that sinking and warming air overhead. We're still in that El Nino pattern, which typically favors warmer conditions through the Pacific Northwest and slightly wetter conditions through central and southern California. That's not necessarily what we're expecting in the next 3 months. In fact, the Climate Prediction Center is saying a wetter than average Pacific Northwest and a drier than average Southern California. Again, that'll be for the 3-month period. However, above average temperatures are expected during that next 3 months, which typically is a little bit closer to what we would see in an El Nino pattern, with those snow levels generally being pretty high and could see some pretty significant runoff. Temperatures for tomorrow in the Sierra in the 40s. For the foothills, we're expecting 50s and 60s across the Bay Area. Highs in the 60s. Once we head inland, we're in the 60s to right around 70, a little bit cooler than where we were through the course of the first weekend of November. And then for that 5-day forecast, it's really unsettled weather for the next several days with highs in the 40s for the Sierra. But with those overnight lows kind of hovering in the teens and 20s, we'll periodically see that snow line drop down to about the pass level and below. In the foothills, it's mainly rain. Highs will be in the 50s and 60s. For the coast, that chance of rain for our Monday forecast. And then we start to dry things out, tracking a chance for showers coming our way on Friday. That'll be our next storm system in this pipeline here. Monday, that chance of thunderstorms. And then again on Friday, we've got that chance of showers, as well as towards the beginning of the following work and school week. Overall, temperatures a little bit below average, nothing too extreme here. Now, if you enjoy these extended forecasts and also deeper dives into some of our climate issues, as well as how weather is impacting our economy, our agriculture, we've got that all on a weather playlist. It's called the Weather Extras on the ABC 10 Plus app. You can download that on many of your devices, including Fire TV, Amazon, as well as Apple TV. Check it out. We've got Water Wasted, Mega Flood, our California Drought series, all there on ABC 10 Plus. Hope you have a great rest of your day.